Introducing MixBoss by WA Production. MixBoss utilizes an incredibly effective and underappreciated mixing method, the top-down mixing concept. Mixing techniques like compression, reverb, stereo widening and saturation are often misused, particularly by beginners, and can easily ruin mixes. With MixBoss, you can use much less of these on your mixes as it helps you use them correctly and efficiently, all in one easy to use plugin. In simple terms, before mixing individual tracks, just insert MixBoss to the master bus, set the tone of your track and then mix into it. While you can add MixBoss to an already mixed track with great results, it works best when used on an unmixed track. With a simple user interface comprising compression, tonal shaping and EQ and controls, a top-tier limiter and 3 monitoring settings that emulate real-world scenarios, MixBoss is an incredibly powerful plugin, useful for beginners and pros alike, and creates polished, punchy and musical sounding mixes. Let's hear a few before and after examples to showcase the power of MixBoss. Make sure to listen through headphones or on decent monitors to hear the sometimes subtle improvements that are being made.
I would turn back time if I could. I would take it all back if I could. I would turn back time if I could. I would take it all
shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Let's go.
To showcase the high quality of MixBoss's limiter, we want you to guess which of the following examples uses MixBoss's limiter and which uses an industry standard high quality limiter. Drop a comment below with your guesses. Example A was MixBoss and B was the high quality mastering limiter. Did you guess correctly? Now that we've heard some examples, let's take a closer look at what top-down mixing is. Top-down mixing is a technique where you begin sculpting the sonic characteristics of your track from the start by working through the mixbus or master. Instead of applying processing to individual tracks, in top-down mixing you apply EQ, compression and other effects right from the start, across the whole song. This emphasis on setting a tonal character from the start leads to a more consistent, musical final mix, which takes much less time to complete and helps inform mixing choices on the individual tracks. Let's take a closer look at MixBoss's controls to see what they do and hear how they can improve your mix. The control knob. This is a precisely tuned multi-band compressor with linear analog crossover filters that maintain phase integrity while adding punch and cohesion. Underneath the control knob, you'll see 3 gain reduction LEDs, low, mid and high. To get started, increase the input gain until you see movement on the LEDs. The control knob functions as a global dry-wet control for the multi-band compressor, working in parallel. To begin compressing, turn the control knob until you have achieved the desired amount. If you need more compression, you can always add gain from the input. The enhance knob. This is the dry-wet control for the 3 character modes next to it. You can activate any combination of them, which are as follows. Color. This adds lively, rich saturation to your mix. Depth. This adds depth to your mix, creating front-to-back separation between sounds and enriching the stereo image. Wide. This increases stereo width without breaking the cohesion of the mix. The balance knob. This is a spectral mix balancer that references a custom noise profile created from thousands of songs. It continuously and gently rebalances your mix in real time to match a musically cohesive tonal balance. Only a small amount of balance is usually needed, so use this knob subtly and gently. Push EQ. This carefully tuned EQ affects the sound in specific useful ways. The low and high knobs offer a Pultec style response with gentle musical curves, great for mix level tonal shaping. Normally this EQ comes before the compressor in the signal chain, but when set to post, the signal is EQ'd after it has already been compressed. Additionally, if Mix EQ is active, then MixBoss removes infrasonic and ultrasonic frequencies to help tighten up your mix further. This is especially useful for genres like pop and rock, which rarely use sub-bass and ultra-high frequencies. Next up, we have the input and output controls, so you can set the volume of your mix coming into the plugin and control how loud it is coming out. Useful if you need to create headroom or if you want to provide a loud mix. MixBoss also includes a high-grade limiter specifically designed for use on the MixBus. With this limiter, you can create louder mix outputs, prevent your mixes from clipping, or check how your mix will react to a limiter during mastering. If you're mixing for others, it allows you to deliver mixes at a competitive loudness level. We recommend that you always mix with the limiter activated and set to an appropriate loudness. If not, you can always leave the limiter off by setting it to 0%. This could be useful if the song is being mastered by somebody else, for example. Next to the limiter is a mix knob, which is a dry, wet switch for all the dynamic processes and EQ before the limiter. This is great if you found MixBoss is shaping your sound well but a little too heavily and you need to pull it back. As a side note, the limiter itself is not affected by the mix knob. There is also a 4x oversampling system, great for reducing any distortion or artifacts. Alongside this is a flip polarity switch, so you can hear your mix flipped 180 degrees. In some cases, flipping polarity can actually increase the clarity and strength of your mix. MixBoss doesn't just shape your sound though, it also allows you to test your mix in different real-world scenarios using the monitoring controls. There are 3 modes. Grotbox, simulating a small, poor quality speaker. This is useful for checking if key elements of your mix translate to this medium well and can be heard clearly. Car, which allows you to simulate the highly coveted car test from the comfort of your own studio. And phone. Millions of people now listen to music out of their phone speakers, so using this mode can help you detect any mix issues when playing back on such limited devices. The monitoring section also includes a mono switch, so you can hear how well your mix does in mono. Nightclubs, festivals and other sound systems often use mono, so this is a great way to ensure nothing is being lost when played in this format. You can use mono in combination with the other monitoring modes to ensure maximum compatibility. That covers the main controls of MixBoss. Alongside these, you have the preset menu where you can choose pre-made presets and save your own. You also have A and B switches to help compare 2 different settings, and copy, undo and redo controls. Last but not least, a bypass button which bypasses the plugin completely. So now that you know how powerful and useful MixBoss can be, download the trial version for yourself, available now.